and that would activate the new animations for like reloading and stuff.
I'm gonna grab a smoke real quick. You guys keep talking.
All right. Is there any more questions in chat? Landro, I think the idle animals are unlimited. I think, but I think in F4 the idle animals are even more limited. So, I mean that's definitely the case.
So, I have another question about my little thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm mostly just getting opinions right now to see what I should and shouldn't implement, or at least try. Like what Fallout New Vegas did with you adding like smaller factions into your large faction that you choose at the beginning, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you start in your New California area at the beginning of the game, after you choosing which one of the 3 main factions you're gonna go for, after your first encounter with the usurper and you get like destroyed, there's gonna be like the followers, the gunrunners, the Shi, the New
Sure.
Reno gangs. So like, but in Nevada, I'm gonna have the boomers and the New Vegas tribes, which since the NCR hasn't actually like started its campaign, House didn't find any reason to civilize them, so there's still the 3 tribes.
So this is a like, can I just interrupt? This is a kind of 20 to 50 something modern that's got multiple world spaces.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and put multiple world spaces, and after you complete like the story of one world, you move to the next.
Well, can I just tell you what I'm doing? I mean, in terms of modding and stuff like that.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a fairly underwhelming person, but I've been modding for about a couple of years now, and I am just working on my first companion in terms of actual content. And I'm not dissuading you from your ambition and stuff like that. I'm just suggesting you that I've been a modder. You know, I've been a modder for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'm actually working on my first companion. So I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just saying, sometimes these things, if you actually want to do something, sometimes there's a sense where you try and when you
it
actually
takes
do
a while.
Yeah.
But like before that, I'm gonna try and recreate Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 inside the Fallout 4 game engine, starting with Fallout 3. And I'm gonna hopefully get people to help me who have the time to spare. But right now I'm just by myself.
Sounds good. Does anyone have any more? Do you have any other questions that you might want to ask about modding, or does anyone in chat have any questions?
I'll give chat a second.
Are you talking about my Arnold impression? Dylan's still with us. Any thoughts about these? Any thoughts about these new projects Bethesda is working on?
I wish they would stop telling me about Doom when I want to hear about the creation kit.
I know what you mean. I went on. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm not interested in Doom at all. It looks average. Just
Well, honestly, I loved Doom 3. That was like the kind of game that, if you added some mods that fixed up the models a little bit, and you played it in the dark and surround sound, it was frightening. It was great. And I hope they do the same on this and not just make it like an action Quake kind of game.
well, I saw the multiplayer and I wish they did it in a kind of more of a BioWare way, where there's like kind of a narrative attached to the whole, fighting other people. But it's a kind of weird power up thing. It's a kind of weird power up Quake thing, where you're sort of blasting people with low health with big guns, and sometimes you become the remnant, like kind of like Battlefront, to start killing everyone. And I think this is the exact opposite of Doom. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, yeah, and I played a lot of Doom 1 and 2, and you
have high
3,
health.
of course. But I mean, the yeah, it was it wasn't really, I don't know, everything. I don't know. It's new. It's going to be interesting to see, I guess. But really, I just don't want it in my face when I want to see the creation kit.
I see what you mean, but in terms of the Doom thing, in multiplayer, I think you should have high health, so then you can have more ways to kill people, and then get a higher score. No, that would make sense rather than killing people in one shot, and then wishing to power up every so often.
It's a different pace to it, It's that Twitch gaming,
Yeah.
rather than a battle, a slug out.
I mean, they're all under the same publisher. You got ZeniMax Media, the parent company. And hold on, my headphones aren't plugged in. Yeah, you've got ZeniMax Media. You've got Bethesda Publishing, Bethesda Softworks, and then you've got Bethesda Game Studios. And, the ZeniMax is the umbrella corporation, and Bethesda is the publisher. So, it's being developed by ID, published by Bethesda, owned by ZeniMax. I think someone mentioned that, and that's why I brought that up.
Polite Raider asked, the mysterious 3 new projects that Todd Howard mentioned in the interview. Yeah, he apparently misspoke, so that was that.
And I know nothing.
I imagine they're working on a new IP, because frankly, they're too in love with what's it called? Eldritch / H.P. Lovecraft not to do something based on that. So,
Well,
so they're probably doing.
we've got Call of Cthulhu. They might do something new.
Yeah. Where would you guys recommend a modder start out? Any tutorials that are very good? It's normally a case of want, Saigon. When I started modding, I didn't know anything about scripting. I didn't even know how to put things in the render window. This is New Vegas, and when I wanted to do something, I just did it. So, hopefully, if you're working for New Vegas, which you probably aren't, the GEC website is still up. The Creation Kit website is still up for Skyrim, and I think the Creation Kit for Fallout 4 will probably follow Skyrim. So.
I mean, it's highly dependent on what you want to do. If you want to make something like Frostfall, then definitely look into programming. If you want to make new armor stuff, then, look into art. If you want to look into, world building, then you've got your My First Vault and all those things. Those are good tutorials to follow. It's really highly dependent on what you want to mod. In case in point, I'm absolute shit for programming. Richard takes care of all the scripting, because he knows that stuff I don't. And as far as I know, Richard could not make a 3D model to save his life, so I do that.
Correct.
And I guess I'd fall in the same category.
Yeah. That was my biggest gripe with Falskar. Veliky did a great job, but he spread himself extraordinarily thin by trying to accomplish everything.
Do you not see when he was 17 when he made that mod? Do you want to give him a bit of a pass?
Oh,
Because that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean,
when I play it. Yeah, go on.
he did a great job, but I mean, at the same time, you got only so much time, unless you're 16 and you're going to drop out of school and work on a project at least 8 hours a day for the next 5 years. if you do that, you can make a pretty long, well fleshed out, pretty much standalone game. And that will definitely get you a job. But, if you're working on something for 8 hours a day for 3 years, trying to impress a AAA publisher or developer, trying to get hired, you really need to focus on your skill set, because you don't want to come across as the guy who can do everything. You want to come across as the guy who can do anything they need him to do for that job. As far as I know, he got hired at Bungie as a junior associate designer, which, junior is the very bottom. Associate is also the very bottom.
He's basically been trained to do something.
Yeah.
He applied at Bethesda as a level designer, and I don't think he's gone into Bungie as a level designer. He's just there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spoken to him. I don't know what he's up to these days. I'm sure he's advanced, but, just the initial hiring of associate junior is pretty much saying intern.
You didn't play Falscar, did you?
No.
I in terms of, I let it off, I'm telling you, but some of the, I just enjoyed it, but the actual story, you know how we write like loading screens and put loading screens into our mod?
Yeah.
His loading screens are literally, bandits are bad. And that's it. It's just, bandits are bad. Sometimes bandits are found in the valley, and they are very bad.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, it really strikes me as a well-done project, considering, but it could have been so much better if he brought together a team. And that's kind of the thing, if you're going to have that much dedication, you get a bunch of people together who are really dedicated to a project, and you have everyone focus on their skill set, that's how you get things like Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. But if you are trying to do everything yourself, it's not going to turn out the way you want it to, because you're really not demonstrating that you can do what they need you to do. You're just demonstrating that you're capable of doing everything.
Yeah. Saigon says, I'm just checking who's actually in chat. Alright. Yeah. I sort of want to start at making models and then eventually move up to story. Aside from designing things, I would say that writing is my passion. Do you want to start writing first, or do you want to start making models first, Saigon? Remember, when you're writing games, you have to put in choices which, kind of stack up the work. For example, in Fallout 4, when you're writing dialogue, you have to write a response for every of those 4 options, which doubles the script. Making models and implementing first. Well then, Dogtooth is your man.
Making models and implementing them? The first thing I would recommend you do is look into sites like Gumroad, 3D Total. The biggest resource I could point you in the direction of would be Polycount.com, which is a forum for game artists, both professional and amateur. And honestly, those people, make something, post it up there, and try and bend over and take what they say. Because they will rip your shit apart, and you will learn more there than anywhere else.
If you can take criticism.
Yes, if you can take criticism. If you can accept critique and implement it, then you will progress at an exponential rate. I've seen people that, started out there, and a year later they are fucking blowing me out of the water. Makes me feel like shit, but I'm very happy for them. If you can accept critique and, you really implement it and you work your ass off, you gonna be good.
Bookun TV says, hello Benton, I am new Russian modeler. Can you give me big tip to improve, please?